Hi, this is Ariel Anderson, and I am here with a new series on creating. So you don't only have to be an artist. That's not my painting. That's my mom's. You don't only have to be creating your art, but it could be your art. Maybe it's creating health or your business, that thing that you may have started on a path before you got into your parenting role, or maybe it started to grow as you became a parent. But the truth that comes through over and over again is that it often gets lost inside of the daily madness or the daily life, the basic reality of being a family. There is such a demand, and I don't have to tell you. You know that. You know, there's the laundry, and there's maybe your job, and there's so many different things that are trying to get your attention, including the little people below you or bigger people you may even have that are pulling on your attention. And it's so hard when you have so many interruptions in the day to keep a straight line. Now, I can say that I'm mainly focused on moms from my experiences, that even the at-home dads that I've talked to have different boundary system. Now, I don't know if it's society or if it's something inside of our hormones or our makeup. Not every woman is the same. Not every man is the same. So whoever feels that this speaks to them, that is for you. But I'm mainly focused on moms that I know. And, you know, if you're a dad that feels that way, or LGBTQA that falls into your reality too, that speaks to you, then that's you too. So, but what we're focused on right now is about your creativity and how to manage that. So the thing is I keep talking to people and they say, well, you know, in a few years, when this is over, when they're not so little, it'll be easier. Now, of course, if your kids are in school, they're not homeschooled, it can be easier. But there are still demands, and it is harder to keep. I think those first years are the hardest because there's such a demand if you have kids at home. If you don't have them in preschool, or you don't have them in preschool 5 days a week, then those other times there's that pull, ding, 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 all the things that are needed. And you love to be there for your family. Many of us. I love being present for my daughter and being a part of her world, and that is, I'm passionate about that too. And I see and I feel the difference when I am able to take the time for myself and my thing. Now, everybody's not the same, but I know that if I'm speaking to you, if this is something that calls to you, then you may also have been a very independent woman or person who traveled or was creating and was able to follow their own path in a way that they were sure that they could continue on when they had their family. But the demands maybe came as a small surprise. Now, I thought I couldn't be surprised, but haha. So recently, I have been talking to different moms, not only on the podcast, but there have been some who have a lot to say, but not with a microphone. And so I'd really love to share with you parts of their journey as well. I had one mom who very honestly said that she really loved and loves being a part of her child's journey. And for a long time, there was a deep acceptance of this is how it is right now. And I like to be present with my child, and I'm giving these pieces of myself up, but it's not forever, it's for now. I heard something similar from an at-home dad, and we heard it on the podcast. If you heard Magnus, he talks about the same thing, that he accepts that for some years, while his children are small, that this is just how it is. And maybe that's okay for some people, and maybe if there had been some idea or possibility of staying on that path more clearly, if there had been some support, if there were some ideas or people could see that it was possible, then maybe more people would do it. Now, I think Magnus managed to still kind of stay on his path with his building and his creating with his kids and sort of getting them involved in different ways with, you know, their painting when he's painting and whatnot. My other friend, she spoke about I remember feeling sad, like, oh, but it can be better. Now, granted, I didn't have kids at the time, and I thought, can't you just? And there just wasn't space. another friend has boys, and some are grown, some are smaller. And I remember the same. I remember asking her, can't you just take a bath? Can't you do this, that? And she was spread so thin that she said, no, but that's okay. I love being a mom. So I realized that not everybody feels the way I do, or some of us have, where there's this feeling of missing something. And it's not that we're not enjoying where we are, right? You enjoy being a parent, and you need space for yourself. I was validated a bit in thinking about this when I was talking to a woman, and I had such a dynamic conversation. She also was on her path, like me. She was on her path. She had an amazing business, or a couple of businesses, working with coaching and health and nutrition. She's an amazing chef and creator. She had some beautiful products, and things slowed down and had to be paused overall. I think not all, but some of the things. And she is looking now to come back to that. Now, I think it's somewhere around the age of 2, 3, 4. Whenever your kid starts to be toilet trained, there starts to feel like there is that possibility, that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, where you can feel that you won't be as intensely demanded. It's just slowly, step by step, you get to that point, right? And having that conversation with her, I felt so, yes, that's who I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking to. You are the one who I'm talking to. And those of you who are watching this, or maybe you have a friend who feels this way, and you're gonna just say, okay, I'm gonna share this over with them because they are dying right now from this. Maybe I'm fine, but no, she or he needs this. Then it's so important that we come together and just support each other to say, it doesn't mean you're a bad parent. It doesn't mean that you don't love your kids. It means that to you as an individual, this need, this desire, this core part of who you are needs to be acknowledged. And there has to be some action taken to keep that piece of yourself alive or revitalize it. Now, a big part of coming back to this is that sort of feeling exhaustion and no space in the schedule. Now, one thing I have learned over the last year of moving an entire life from one continent to another, and at the same time, there's been a work shift for my husband and I. At the same time, trying to toilet train and keep a balance for my child. One thing that I have learned is that, amazingly enough, when we really feel passionate about something, we realize that it is possible. Somehow space appears. Now, I wouldn't have believed it, but last year I worked with a coach in LA, and from a long distance, obviously, and I was thinking to sign up for a course. Anybody who's been listening on the podcast, you may have heard me mention Cathy Heller. She's a really interesting individual. She's doing some lovely things, and she's all about doing it messy. I'm somewhere between messy and perfection, even though I'm working with imperfection. But I really wanted to work with her and a group, and I said, but I don't have time. What am I, crazy? I'm in the middle of a move, and I have a child who's in toilet training and daily life, we're taking care, and how do we do this, right? So we all have so many things. Maybe you're taking care of an elder at home, or you got work and something. We did have work. Work was packing up our lives and sorting and giving away and selling. So, we all have jobs or activities that will take up space and time. But what I realized is, in that moment, I was like, I have to work with this person. Well, I have done the same thing with people, working with them and their passions and their dreams. And it was so great to find somebody who fit my soul in the moment. And I knew the first moment that I was working with her that I wanted to pay it forward, whatever I was learning, take all the coaching I had done and the coaching I was receiving, because you have to get coached yourself, of course, as well, and put it out there to the world. Now, we didn't really talk about this. And in fact, in the course, I realized it was definitely not set up for moms per se, because there was just such an intensity as far as the amount of information. But I realized that it was possible because somehow magically the space appeared. Now, it means maybe letting go of some Netflix time, or, you know, a little bit less catch-up time on social media. Yeah, I know it's the obvious stuff. Social media, Netflix. Some people don't even have time for that, and I totally get that. Maybe it means getting your kids to bed a little bit earlier. My daughter goes to bed, I kid you not, usually somewhere between 9 and midnight. Now, I'm not a total woo mom. It's just seriously, this girl has so much energy that if we don't run her around in circles, take her to the playground, get her on a bike ride, do something, it's sometimes hard to get her into bed when we need to because she's got a lot of different things going on. Whatever, we all have our own stories. So they could be putting your kids to bed early. It could be Netflix. It could be social media. I don't know what it is for you. But this week, let's start just with that. Let's start with you finding even one area where you could gain some time. How much time, if you are willing to let go of anything to make a little more space for yourself, where would that be? I would love for you to write down how your day looks on an average. From morning until evening. And now I know every day is different, but kind of you could even do all the days if you feel really like you want to go for it. But just give it on an average day, like activity, school, work, meals, everything. To include everything that you can and really look at it. Now I know it's not always easy, to be honest, even with ourselves, because we could say, oh, I don't spend that much time. But if you have an iPhone or a phone that does the same thing that the iPhone does, you can see where you spend your time on your phone. I'm not kidding you. You will be shocked. Once in a while, these reports pop up and I just kind of go, you know, and find that the next day after I see how much time I've spent doing different things, because your phone is the, you know, it's your email and your social media, and you might get work done there. And as well, you take your photos and videos and different things. There's a lot that we do on our phones these days that we didn't used to. Now, not everybody's the same. And probably those of you who aren't spending a lot of time on your phone, I'm probably not your gal, because this I feel is very much that a lot of what I'm going to be offering is going to be talking about how we can incorporate our digital and our analog lives together to make things work. And that's how we're going to start. So I would open up some sort of document or wherever you like to put things, scribble out some different things and see where you are losing time and where you'd like to gain it. And then I would like to know, if you'd like to, I would love for you to put in the comments below where you found time. Facebook, 10 minutes less a day, and with that, I'm exploring what I want to do. I don't know. It just start by making space, and we can move into deeper what happens after you get that space. But let's start there just by creating space where you can. Maybe you have a completely different version of things for you as far as where you gain time. Maybe it's that you ask your partner to be the one to make dinner, or maybe they already make dinner. Or they do laundry, or maybe you do put your kid down in front of a puzzle or with grandma for a few more minutes so that you can just have some breathing space. What I want for you is to create space. There is no way that the universe is going to understand that you are ready to create your health, your business, your art, whatever it is that your soul is aching for. Maybe it's just looking to create connections. Maybe it's about connecting with the people that matter to you or people you haven't even met yet. Whatever it is that you want to create, social life, a baby, whatever it is, it has to start with space. So I encourage you to do that. I look forward to hearing how it goes just down here. If you like this, please put a little thumbs up and share with a friend if you think this could be helpful for them. I can't wait to continue on this journey with you. Have a beautifully imperfect day and see you soon.